Hello, guys.
What is up, guys? We are back with another one. We're doing an honest trailer reaction. You know, I'm surprised they haven't done this movie before. Coming to America.
I know.
It's a classic.
Yes, it is.
One of my favorite all-time comedy movies.
Mhm.
One of my favorite Eddie Murphy movies of all time. So let's check this out.
They're gonna kill us always.
Before you watch another comedy sequel released 10 plus years after the original that will probably suck ass, revisit the modern fairy tale that asks, what if one of those Nigerian prince scams were real? Man, I knew I should answer that email. Coming to America. Get ready for a series of late 80s SNL sketches held together by the nuclear charisma of Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
When you think of garbage, think of Akeem.
That has him cast against type as a naive romantic, then makes up for it by casting himself as everyone else too, in a formula that works 100% of the time, 50% of the time.
It is long time in hell before one suck poison out of another man's ass.
Meet Akeem, yet another royal immigrant who comes to the U.S. to take our jobs. Seriously, it's an epidemic. But he's surprisingly humble for a guy whose face is on money, and surprisingly righteous for a guy with his own dick washer.
Penis is clean, Your Highness.
Making him one of the only spoiled rich kids to turn out pretty cool. Not even the director can manage that. So congratulations to whichever kind-hearted nanny raised Akeem, because it was definitely not his parents.
She did a good job, the nanny.
Journey to a Wakanda known as Zamunda, a fictional African kingdom thought up by white guys, rich beyond all comprehension, with a bachelor prince who's shy around girls, and the king dresses like a big cat. But Akeem will gladly leave the fame and fortune behind for a chance to move to New York and blatantly steal this poor schmuck's girlfriend. Yeah, I know he's a jerk, but I guess bro code into the border, huh? Along for the ride to the Big Apple is Semmi, his valet? Personal trainer? Human toy?
Everything.
If his job is to be the royal best friend, he's terrible at it.
I feel like a complete idiot.
I doubt we will ever find your queen.
What
It's
is
not
this
fair as
job?
me doing manual labor. Do you realize I have not had sex since we got to America? Things are going so well with Lisa. I do not care.
But every king needs his queen, and Lisa is a hard-working, independent woman with principles that she'll quickly sell out for a bigger house like the rest of the boomers.
If you like, we can give it up now.
He's like, I'm out.
And experience James Earl Jones as you love to see him most, being someone's dad. You may not be my father, sir, but you will always be my daddy. Witness a truly impressive parade of soon-to-be famous actors, from Samuel L. Jackson getting a start as this bad mother effer,
Anybody move out, blow your head off.
to Cuba Gooding Jr. as boy getting haircut, to a young Paula Abdul choreographing the dance scenes. Even the royal penis lady got work. If Eddie and Arsenio played fewer parts, we could have had Don Cheadle in our lives a whole decade sooner. So sit back and enjoy Eddie Murphy's 80s comedy about Africans that's aged better than his other 80s comedy about Africans.
I have to go off to the woods of Africa and find me some crazy, naked zebra.
That takes you back to a golden era
This
when
guy
these
was
two
hilarious.
were on top of the world, before they stopped working all the time and went off to enjoy their families and spend their millions. Wait, celebrities are allowed to do that? Will somebody please tell Bruce Willis?
We didn't know whether to burn it or put it in a museum.
I'm sure they said the same thing about
Pranks
me.
him out.
Welcome to the party, pal. It ended many years ago. You can rest now. Starring the nutty successor, Burger Queen, and twins, the founder, City Slicker 2, Legend of Curly's Glow, and twins, Robert Mugabe. And, sir, this is a Wendy's. The Prince's Bride. Since this takes place in a shared universe, does that mean that Eddie has an identical millionaire twin named Valentine?
I thought that was hilarious. I
Yes.
mean, such a classic, one of the best 80s comedies of all time.
I think a good thing that that it just emphasized that a lot of these people became famous or got more jobs because of this movie, right?
Yeah, I mean, you watch this movie, you see Cuba Gooding Jr., he's just there, not playing a big part, he's just getting a haircut, and this guy turned out to, I think he won an Oscar.
Yeah.
He turned out to win an Oscar, and Samuel Jackson, went on to have such a huge, huge career.
Yeah.
And then he has that small scene in the restaurant. So, yeah, classic movie. And I think they highlighted a lot of the very funny moments in that movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So we watched the sequel 30 years later. Unbelievable. A lot of people from the original are back.
Yeah.
And we're going to do a review for it. We're not going to do it now, but we're going to do a review for it sometime this week. I'm excited to talk about it. Linda, I don't know how excited you are to talk about this movie.
I don't know.
But I'm excited to talk about
it.
Linda's going to be honest about it. I'm going to be, I'm going to keep it 100.
You are?
Like I always do. I'm going to keep it 100.
Okay.
I'm going to keep it 100. There's things I liked about the sequel, and there's things that I think could have been done different.
Okay, there's a lot of things that could have been done
Really?
different.
I'm really curious to hear what you got to say that could have been done different. I'm very specific. I'm not one of those people that say, oh, that movie sucked. Okay? If I'm going to say that movie, like, I didn't like it, I'll say specifically why.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I feel like sometimes
like
when people say a movie sucked, I got to be like, why? Like, what didn't you like about it? Like, be specific, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm going to be very specific as to what could have been done a little bit better. But they are things that I really liked.
Yeah, there are things that I like too. But anyway, we're not doing the review about that.
We're not doing a review.
This was cool. And,
Yes.
the first one will always be my favorite.
That's right.
And they'll always be the best movie.
And you know what they said in this one, what he said in this one that's very true, is that Eddie Murphy is just so charismatic.
I know. It's just crazy.
So charismatic. And he, the movies that he does, he pretty much, in this movie, he was surrounded by a good cast. But he carries the movies.
Yes.
He really does carry the movie.
Totally.
And he's so charismatic as, for somebody being like playing somebody like a prince, a rich prince that has everything. He was still very likable.
Yeah, and he played different characters as well, like in other movies, and he just does an amazing job. Like he's crazy,
very talented, and it's good to see him back and coming to America too. And hopefully, from what I understand, he's gonna be doing more stand-up comedy too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one. Leave us comments. Did you watch Coming to America 2? Did you like it? Did it live up to the hype 30 years later?
Yeah.
30 years later to do a sequel. Unbelievable. Making movies is not easy. From what I understand, the sequel, the script, it took like 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's not
crazy.
easy. Making a movie is not easy. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. See you guys later. Subscribe to the channel if you like these videos. Peace out.
Bye.